Now, I'm recording, but I can edit this, okay? Right, we return to the 3 nails demonstration, and I am now going to plot the potential differences between the areas of the electrolyte. So if we imagine that this is the ground, and here is the anode of the cathodic protection system. Here is a foreign pipeline, which there is interference, and here is our protected pipeline, which is under cathodic protection. We first set a reference potential by putting a copper sulfate half cell in a fixed position and measuring the voltages between the various positions that we plot. And their first voltage will be the one that starts the actual grid survey. So the first voltage is 3.758. The next is 3.560. Next one is 2.731. The next is 2.2. The next is 1.758. The next is 1.277. The next is 5.587. Next is minus 141. The next is minus 578. And the next is minus 643. Now I'll stop at this point because the meter is now set to auto. And I don't want it set to auto because I want it to show everything in millivolts. So I'm just trying to think how I set this range. Range is in volts. Maybe this will do it. So I'll start again. It is in volts DC. So the first reading, I will take the probe off so that we have a lot of records of 0 on the log. I will replace the reference potential. I will now start the first reading, which is 3.7, 3.4, 2.5, 2.054, 1.603, 1.165, 0.392, minus 0.278, minus 0.741, minus 0.756. That's better. So now I start the second line by going back to the baseline and starting taking a measurement here. This is so that I can lay the lines of the measurements onto Excel spreadsheet, and the graph will be correct for 3 dimensions. So this is second reading, third reading, fourth reading, fifth reading, sixth reading, seventh reading, eighth reading, ninth reading, 10th reading on the second row. First reading on the third row. Second, third row. Third row. Fourth on the third row. Fifth on the third row. Sixth on the third row. Seventh on the third row. Eighth on the third row. Ninth on the third row. 10th on the third row. First on the fourth row. Second on the fourth row. Third on the fourth row. Fourth on the fourth row. Fifth on the fourth row. Sixth. Seventh. Eighth. Ninth. 10th. First on the fifth row. Second on the fifth row. Third on the fifth row. Fourth on the fifth row. Fifth on the fifth row. Sixth on the fifth row. Seventh. Eighth. Ninth. 10th on the fifth row. First on the sixth row. Second on the sixth row. Third. Fourth. Fifth. Sixth. Seventh. Eighth. Ninth. 10th on the sixth row. So that has completed the grid survey, and I'm leaving it off for the moment so that the recording will show a 0. And now I'm going to switch the multimeter off, and the record is complete. I will now stop the recording.